The M-14 I-96 project, which last year we started doing some prep work, but this year is the real heavy-duty construction that's going to start soon. This weekend, Saturday and Sunday, what's happening is we are taking eastbound M-14 that then turns into I-96 down to 2 lanes. That's pretty much it for the weekend. Westbound though, from roughly, let's say Newburgh to Beck, we're going to take you down to 1 lane, and it's going to go all weekend into the following week. And there's going to be a number of ramp closures in there, including to southbound 275. Drivers on southbound 275 will not be able to go west on M14, and a lot of folks take that to get home to Ann Arbor. That's going to be closed all weekend. Come Monday morning, we'll open the ramps, but we still keep westbound 9614 from, again, Newburgh out to Beck down to 1 lane. In anticipation of the following weekend, when we have to start doing some closures to do pavement markings and get ready to move the barrier wall so that we can set it up for actual construction. But unfortunately, we've also had what's kind of called a blowout underground with some water and a void underneath the ground. We have to do a repair to westbound, which is why we got to keep you down to 1 lane for about a week. We have to fix that before we can set up into final construction phase. So there's a lot of moving parts to this. So I really need drivers to follow michigan.gov/drive. It's called My Drive, because there's going to be ramps that are opening and closing all of this weekend into next weekend. But next weekend, eastbound goes down to 1 lane and all of the ramps close. Beck, Sheldon, 275, Newburgh, Levan will be the first point you can get in. So if you don't get on at Godfredson to go eastbound, you can't get on again until Newburgh, because we're tearing up all of eastbound and we've got you down to 1 lane. It's really going to be very rough for people if they're not aware of it. If they need to get onto 275, they're going to need to do it off of maybe Newburgh, which is going to a lot of heavier traffic on the local roads. But again, another project that needs a lot of planning ahead of time.
Is that project almost similar in a sense that the concrete, the lifespan is coming to a close?
Correct. That's the only reason we would ever totally do a reconstruction. Repairs we have to do all the time because maybe there was a fire, a semi-fire, and it burned the concrete. We got to take that section out. When we do these complete closures for reconstruction, it's because the freeway's been around 25, 30 years, and we've patched it as much as we can patch it. And we'll also, when we dig all that up, we'll fix the drainage problem. We got a drainage problem near Sheldon where we get a lot of water coming off the slope that then freezes. There's a couple other little things that we have to do. I say little, pardon me. Compared to a total reconstruction, they're not as major, but there's a lot of work going on, but a lot of moving parts because that interchange with 275 will be affected. Some of those ramps will be open, some will be closed, and drivers are going to have to stay on top of. The project has a website, m14reconstruction.org, where we organize all the information on M14, m14reconstruction.org. But if they also go to My Drive, michigan.gov/drive, they can see the whole state. They can also see other projects that are going on. Now, one area that people may have a bit of an issue on is our 696 project affects eastbound. Our M14 96 project also affects eastbound. It is open, but it's going to be down to 1 lane and you don't have any ramps to get off of. So if either of those eastbound routes are part of your normal route, you are going to have to plan differently or at least give yourself a lot more time.
And then lastly, what is something that's missing that you want to make sure viewers know ahead of this?
That it's construction season, and while it is tough for drivers to go through, we all drive the same roads. We drive them. Our families who complain to us constantly drive them. We know what it's like. We sit in the same backups. But the thing is, when you're driving, you are surrounded by a seatbelt, airbags, thousands of pounds of steel metal glass while you're distracted or speeding or whatever. People working on the side of the road, they got a vest on, a hard hat, hopefully a barrier wall, but those get hit constantly. Stuff flies over them. Those are no guarantee of safety. We need drivers to slow down. Whatever hurry you're in is not worth killing somebody or yourself. So please, in these construction zones, there are workplaces, and we need you to do the right thing, which means both hands on the wheel, both eyes on the road, and a safe speed through our construction zone.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you.